Hey everybody, it's Love, Peace, and Happiness. I hope that you are all doing well out there today. And I also hope that each and every one of you have a wonderful holiday. Thank you so much for all of your support. Without further ado, I'm going to get into it right away. This video was something that was highly requested from one of my subscribers to do, and I promised that I would do it, so you know who you are out there. And this video is going to be a human hair edition only, and it is how to make a human hairpiece. We're talking about like wigs, toppers, any kind of hairpiece, how to make it look more natural, how to customize it to where you feel the most comfortable to wear it out in public. And these are the steps that I go to in order to get mine to look how I do. So I might leave some things off that you feel that should be addressed, and if so, by all means you can leave them in the comment box below and maybe we can help some other people out there, or maybe you can help me. But this is basically just what I've done in my experience with dealing with hair pieces and what I have on now, how I get them to look virtually undetectable for the most part, and my best tips out there. So if that interests you, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so let's get into it right now, into the details. So what I find step number one of the most important things before you even get out the door here with it is know your hair pieces. Step number one, golden rule, know you get what you pay for, and investing in something that you're going to be wearing out, you don't want to wear something that's more mediocre. You want to pick something, not saying that you have to spend a ton. You want to get something, obviously human hair, but a great quality. Read your reviews on it and know the topics. And if you find me looking down, I just made some notes here. This is basically, I'm just going to give you a few examples, not getting into everything here. I don't want to get off the beaten path. You want to know your lace fronts. You're going to hear the word monofilament and silk base. Some of those are like more for a realistic look, I find. I personally find that the silk base are the most natural. I don't want to touch on each one in depth, but the silk base has hair. It looks like it's growing right out of the scalp. As long as the silk matches your skin, you shouldn't have a problem with it. Some people do. But your safest option at this point right now is your lace fronts, because you can customize it. It's a piece of lace, exactly what it says, and the hair is hand tied into it. So that I find is the most natural and what works for me. You're going to pay a little bit, but in the long run it's going to be the best thing for you, and to have it look the most realistic. So again, just knowing your investment, you're investing in something that you want to wear out and it's going to show you and the person that you are, definitely do that. If you're interested in some sites, or I can also leave a video of how I do my own toppers and do human hair. I create them very, very cheap. That is what I do because I can customize them myself. All right, so step number two. This pertains mostly to the wig people out there. Know your size head. You can buy the most expensive wig out there and have it not fit properly, whether it be too loose or too tight. That's a complete issue there, and that's your first thing that will make it definitely noticeable. You want to follow the instructions if you're purchasing it from a wig manufacturer. There is probably a section there that says sizing charts. You want it, normally it has you measure the circumference of your head this way. They might have you go this way. Just make sure that you follow and you go by that cardinal rule and make sure that you get that size. So just make sure you have a tape measure handy, something that you can wrap around, and that will be fine. Alright guys, so the next thing that I want to show you that is very important, you're going to find that this will happen, what I'm about to tell you, in more of the synthetic hair that you get. It's not going to be so much in what I'm going to show you in the human hair world. How to get, a lot of times your hair is, when you first pull it out of the box, it's super shiny and it's so unrealistic looking. It looks like doll hair. How do you avoid that in a quick fix? And there's two methods that I normally do, and I'm just kind of gonna just do a quick mock because it's very easy. However, you do not want to overdo it. So this is a topper that I made myself. And how do you, like, say this is just shiny. There's two things that I normally do. And the two things that I normally do is, first, you can use a little bit of baby powder. You want to sprinkle some in your hand, rub it together, and you can just kind of pat it on. don't overdo it. Little less is more. We're talking about just a slight sprinkle, and try that first. If you use too much, it's going to give you a cast to your hair, such as it could give you a grayish or whitish cast. Or what you can also do instead is take some dry shampoo, spray it in the areas that are shiny. Start from your ends, work your way up, comb it through, see where you're at. You can always reapply it. So that is a very cheap fix. So those are the two tricks that I have. Okay, so the next step is you want to take a look at your part. That is definitely another telltale sign that your hair topper or wig is not real. Now you're gonna see here, I bleached the knots on this, so it's gonna look very, like my part will look very wide here, and it's only because it's underneath a white styrofoam head. Take a look at this part, and what you wanna do is, I'm gonna find a thicker section so I can demonstrate a little better. The only thing that you're going to need for this is a pair of tweezers and a comb. Find the part if you choose to part your hair, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna start little at a time. You just wanna start pulling some out where the part is. Pull a little bit, a strand at a time, not a bunch at a time. You don't wanna leave your part too thick. Pull, and then comb it out and see where you're at. You can also do that around a thick hairline. A lot of times it's too dense around the hairline, creating definitely a thick wiggy look. If you look, I'm wearing a topper right now, so this is my own hairline right here. See how our own hairline is thin, sparse? Imagine this on a wig. You want to kind of get it a little bit thinner so it's not so thick. I tend to gravitate more towards a darker root. If you look at mine, I colored this myself. Most hair, when I do my own, most of the closures that I use are dark to begin with anyway. So what I normally do is leave it dark, and then I throw some highlights in to create like a little bit of a lighter effect. If your hair is dark, it's fine. You know, there's really nothing you could do to dark root it because it will already be dark. However, if you do, say you have a lighter wig or topper and you're not really sure it's all one color, no one's hair is all one color. That you could do by buying, it all depends on everyone's shade. I normally, for my hair, I normally get a 3 or a 4N, which is like a dark brown natural, or like a medium brown. Medium brown is more, you're getting more towards like a level 5, which is a medium brown in most cases. So I normally do like about a 4, typically I do. And I try to stay away from the lace. I don't really want to color the lace. However, I want to get as close to the root area as possible, but I don't want to go too far down the hair where it looks like now it's grown out and it needs to be colored. So definitely doing a dark root will give you the appearance of natural hair, dimension. It gives you dimension, and it also creates a look like you color your hair possibly or something, but it definitely is more natural, trust me. And if you need, I can always include some pictures right after this. All right guys, so one of the top things that I noticed is how to make a wig look less poofy. You're gonna see a lot of volume up here. That's one of my first telltale signs that someone might be wearing a hairpiece, is that it looks very unrealistic or wiggy, as some people will put it. So you have your wig here and it's poofy up here. It's too full. You don't really want to cut it. What do you do in the interim with it? What I normally do is look at my dirty curling iron, by the way. It just has some hairspray buildup and whatnot on it. So just disregard it. You want to make sure that it's hot, you don't want to get it too hot or too close to the lace because you could burn it. And that is definitely a possibility, and it's almost ruined at that point. So what I normally do is when it's hot, like I would say start a little bit lower, maybe start about, you want to get it warm enough that it's gonna do something to it. So if it's human hair, you're safe. I normally do about 350 or so. It might be a little hot, but you're not gonna leave it on long. So start down further first, and what I normally do is just take it without opening up the barrel, close it, put it down on the hair. I'll try to do it this way, that way you can see better. Put it down, like rest it on a little bit, and then slide. Put it on, slide. Keep doing that all around while it's not on your head, preferably on a mannequin head, styrofoam block, anything that you want to use. And just kind of work that down. That will work out most of the poofiness for you. And that's a simple, easy method that doesn't require you to start getting in there and trimming or de-poofing the hair with thinning shears or anything like that without cutting it and ruining its state. So you just want to be careful and just maybe try this. All right, guys, so there is another method that you could use, and I'll include this product in the info below. It's called Lotta Body, and what you want to do, let me just make sure that I tell you the correct measurements here. That you want to mix like 1 part, make sure that I tell you the correct measurements here. That you want to mix like 1 part in a spray bottle, 1 part of the Lotta Body spray, or that you're going to be spraying, and you're going to use a part of water. Mix it up real good, shake it up, make sure that it's all even and distributed into the spray bottle. Spray it onto the hair without, now this is a no heat method. And you can apply it to the crown area, and you could either let it air dry or take a scarf and you can wrap it. I would say a silk scarf you can use, or a bandana, something of that nature. And you could tie it almost like in a Rambo effect, where it's kind of on the top, covering most of the crown and securing it, tying it in the back. So you're not gonna have your hair up underneath it. It's gonna lay over top of it like this and tie it in the back. It's gonna flatten it with no heat on it. So if you're worried about getting too close to that lace, which you should be, you don't have to. In most cases, I haven't seen any of these lace burn. However, it does happen, and you just want to be careful. That is definitely another solution, and it's more of a setting spray. So one more important topic that I want to include that would be considered to de-poof the top part of the crown area, anything that's going to make it look unnatural. You also want to debulk. Take it to a professional, have them trim it or thin it. You don't want to over thin it, and if you over thin it, you could have small pieces of hair that, I'm just going to bring you down again, that are going to stick up in certain spots. So I normally, and I could do a separate video on this, I'm just basically just telling you the things that I do. You don't want to start too close to the scalp, because just remember that when you're thinning, it has to take the hair somewhere. So you might have little flyaways up here. In most cases, that does look natural, because nobody's hair is ever laying completely flat. And if you look up close, I think I even have some too that just stick up, and it just creates a more natural look for that. So that is definitely another alternative. If you feel comfortable at doing it, just remember that your hair topper / wig is, you spend good money on human hair and you don't want it ruined, so proceed with caution. Bleaching knots on human hair lace front hair pieces, human hair. I will link a description, or I should say a video on how to do this below. Be sure to watch it if you're interested. You'll need a mixing bowl and brush. That's what I use. Any beauty supply will have this usually. 40 volume cream developer, use at your own discretion, a different volume. BW2 is your bleach powdered lightener. You mix it with the developer. Foil to cover your bleach once it's on there to process. Hair piece, you'll need lace front and human hair. And these are the results that you will get. Before is on the left and right is on the after. Or is after, I'm sorry. So I hope that helps, and be sure again to watch the video below. It will explain it more in depth. If you're not a professional, don't attempt on your own, just simply showing you what I do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.